Hello there, and welcome to Mugcast. I'm in charge now.
I'm
sorry.
Mugcast is a show where we just talk about anything, really. Just something that someone thought of at 3 a.m. in the morning when they weren't sleeping.
And I can't wait. I can't wait for today's episode. I can't wait to be talking about Power Rangers.
No, Tom. We talk about Dora Explorer. James told me it was Dora the Explorer.
Wait, it's not Pokemon?
James told me Power Rangers.
He told me Pokemon.
Motherfucking tricked us all, didn't he?
All.
James.
Right.
What's the point of having this then?
I can explain.
Did you just yeet your slope?
You can just see him, just behind him there.
Yeah. Oh, he's got the right idea.
Oh, my door's just been locked.
Right, so if we're not doing Power Rangers, we're not doing Dora Explorer, and we're not doing Pokemon, what are we doing?
Anyone else's door been locked?
We'll get to that. Don't worry, the chains will be removed afterwards.
I can't get out. I can't get out!
Wow.
Get back here!
We've got some good contenders for the Oscars here.
Yep.
If you play along, Thomas, it will end quicker.
That's what
Okay,
she
go
said.
on then.
In your dreams.
It's true.
She wants it on.
So, I've had Mugcast greenlit. We have talked about this before, if anyone's ever watched
A
one
year
of our
ago. It's
one of
been
our
a
old
year.
TTT videos.
I think
When we said it was going to be done, and then nothing was done.
the other guy's the first time I made the joke.
Maybe, yeah, it was when I started talking about what mug I had.
Which was the start of August, I think it was last year.
Yeah, because Will Ferrell had a mug, didn't he?
Yeah.
And James said something, and you went, what is this, a podcast about a middle-aged man talking about his mugs?
Yeah.
And
Yes,
like,
except I'm not middle-aged.
And we were like, we should really do that. It'd be like really fun. And then we just never
I
did.
mean, talk about a midlife crisis. Why not have it at the beginning of your life?
Yeah.
Pretty much. At least it's not crisis on Infinite Earths.
Hey, you get it because it's like DC, and reference.
Yeah, watch all that much DC.
But yeah,
Well.
so go on.
Elongating the intro. Mugcast is, as I said, a show where we just talk about anything. We're planning on having different hosts this time. Obviously, since this is the very first episode, I have been nominated as the host by myself. I did have a gun when I said it, but I've since put it away, so
That's convenient.
probably shouldn't have done that. The only prerequisite for Mugcast is that we have a drink with us. So, my mug today, which has my name on it, though it has, if you see the apostrophe and then an S, which is grammatically incorrect, but it's okay. My life is a mess anyways.
Don't worry, sir. I've only realised 4 episodes into my other podcast that I've spelt below wrong. I put bellow.
Nice.
It's been up for 4 episodes.
It's like how I was going through my notes. I was asking Craig how to pronounce Japanese things, and he pointed out that instead of writing sister, I wrote sitter.
Bloodline.
You're supposed to laugh at jokes.
I did
Wow.
laugh.
Thank you.
I'm
I
waiting.
laughed at the time.
What's in the mug anyway?
So James's tea.
The off-brand of Yorkshire tea.
Is Yorkshire tea.
Oh wow.
Oh.
Because it's a Yorkshire tea mug. Funny.
Yeah.
Is that the enthusiasm for you, James?
I'm hilarious.
Funny, haha.
Damn, I've got Yorkshire tea with me. It will probably always be Yorkshire tea because it's the only thing I drink.
Yay.
So,
Now what?
yes. I said the prerequisite was to have drinks with you. So, do you not have drinks with you?
Unfortunately.
Oh, big tankard.
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones, yes, that's been under my desk for about a year. Alex remembers these mugs. We had 2 of them, remember, Alex?
I didn't get one.
I thought you did.
Oh, no, yeah, I did. I gave it to my uncle.
So you
because he
got rid of it?
the show.
Yeah.
He actually watches the show.
It's been under my desk for about a year now, maybe a bit longer than that. So it was dusty. I had to get rid of the dust. A lot of dust. And inside, if you can't tell, it's a nice bit of strawberry milkshake.
I thought it was cum.
I thought it was tea.
I also thought it was tea.
It's cool.
It's pure wine.
Drinks again.
And
Cheers for that.
I've just had to take my glasses off because you can't see my eyes. I look like an anime protagonist. But I have this cup, and it's totally just a cup, not a can inside.
And what drink would be in said definite mug?
Totally not alcohol. As it's in the smell of Pepsi Max cherry.
Pepsi Max. Just Pepsi Max cherry. Okay.
Yeah, just Pepsi Max cherry.
Yeah.
Totally not alcohol.
Of course,
Yeah.
of course. It's not like you have to be drunk to put up with me.
No.
I'll be drinking
No.
later.
No. Well, we'll see. I've got a Maleficent cup.
I dare
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, I dare you to stop this before it goes on, please.
To be fair, you did say to me, Hayden, I dare you to greenlight Mugcast, and I'm not one to turn down a dare.
Was a dare.
Look, I thought you'd go, or we could just do this instead, and like some, better, like killing
You
ourselves.
thought it was a prank.
Hayden was just waiting for the truth.
Waiting for
True
the
question.
psych. Like, where's the psych?
I
It's
thought it was
like right
April
now.
Fool's. I was waiting for the April Fools, like, hey, April Fool. Where was I supposed to know it was August?
You've always got to check the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what are you drinking today?
It'll
No,
depend.
what's in?
It'll depend on what the fuck we're watching. So come on then, James. Please just put us out.
I have a selection ready.
Oh God.
Which one's the bleach, Hayden?
That's in the toilet. We'll
So when you say I need to go to the toilet,
Yeah, I'm drinking bleach.
It's code word for that bleach.
Yeah.
You gotta get that bleach.
well,
So come on then.
since I was taking charge of the first episode, I thought, what's something that, well, because, as humans, we're social animals. We like to talk about things that we like that other people don't, and we chain their doors down so that they have to talk about them.
And that you
Oh,
talk
God.
about every single time you get an opportunity and you won't drop it.
Oh
Exactly.
God, no.
So I thought, well, the thing that I probably get to talk about the least is my preference in a thing called anime.
Oh God.
Now, obviously, anime is in, like, Japanese cartoons, or someone already has probably shot me down on the internet because he knows the exact definition of anime and I'm too lazy to Google it. So, I just want to, catch what are a few, like, I know that not all of us here are anime aficionados. I don't actually watch all that much. But, let's just get some of your favourites.
Okay, well I'll start.
So we're
'cause it's
talking
easiest.
anime?
I only like two.
We're talking anime.
Yes.
Yeah. I only like My Hero Academia because I'm a basic bitch.
Yep.
And a certain scientific railgun, which I know Alex likes as well.
Mm.
But that's it. I mean, if you can count Pokemon.
Those two.
But the best one of all is the B movie and Core in the House.
I do like jazz.
You can't talk about that show anymore.
Oh,
Just trust me, bro. You don't talk about it anymore.
Oh yeah.
Go on, Tom.
let's move on then.
Your list is going to be a lot shorter than
I like
mine.
how you're already all looking for ways out of this, like drinking bleach, choking yourself with pillows.
I was just doing
Like-
that for sexual reasons.
How long
I was
until
trying to get
someone jumps
myself
out a
off.
window?
Yeah.
I would, but then I'd have to knock my TV and that off. So.
Just Kool-Aid man through the wall, Alex.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah! Oh shit! No.
Hang on, Thomas. Come on. You're already elongating your pain.
Have you been watching that Godzilla anime?
I didn't finish it. I got to like episode 9.
I know, Tom, the supernatural one.
It's been a long time since I watched it. But Attack on Titan's the main one for me. No basic bitch choice there.
Yeah.
If you're not getting Pokemon, I'm not allowed to cut you, kiddo. Shaman King, I got really into that recently.
Okay, yeah. Fair enough.
We're not
Both of
counting
you have gone for
Pokemon.
two.
I can't
I
think of anything else.
Alex goes, oh, all this one, this one, this one, this one.
I don't really have that much of a list, really.
Just food.
Food Wars is great.
I have this entire folder.
I've not been watching My Hero, but I've been watching the sub version, so Boku no Hero.
I only dub.
Yeah, I watch both, really.
The fight. I suppose you watch sub because you can't read.
If I'm interested, I'll read. Because I can't be asked to wait for it to come out in English. What have I been watching recently? Hold on. Boku no Hero. Yeah, My Next Life as a Villainess. That's a good one.
I like that one.
Lead to Death Doom. Season 2 just came out of that one, so that's good. Shaman King, Boruto, Naruto, Dragon Ball, the basics, like Shonen. You've got One Piece. Can't count Pokemon because, How Not to Summon a Demon Slayer, that's a good one. Eden Zero, that's also nice. Mother of the Goddess, Dormitorium, Full Dive, the ultimate next gen full dive RPG, is even shittier than real life. That's the title. And Slime. Slime. That's all I can think of for the name. I got reincarnated into a
At
slime.
that time, I got reincarnated as a
Yeah,
slime.
Hayden's gone to sleep.
Well, I made that joke first, and I like how everybody's just got like their own iteration.
Hayden just falls on in bed.
I'm in bed.
Yeah. I'll leave it at that for now.
I'm gonna check
What
my.
about you, James?
I'm gonna check my Netflix, see whatever else I've been watching.
Oh no, you can't ask James because all of his are not safe for kids.
He's only got one, really.
This channel's not safe for kids. Just
Let's try to see what ones I can remember. Ones that I've liked that I've watched and liked in the past. Overlord, Goblin Slayer, Assassination Classroom, Rising of a Shield Hero.
Oh yeah, that one's a good one too. Hayden's just full on left.
Gone to get the bleach.
She didn't say bathroom.
Oh, true, right, yeah. Gotta get the code word.
No, she got something better. She got a gun.
Yeah.
Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
That's pretty good. Are there any others I can remember?
Hey, what about that one that's behind you?
Huh? What?
Oh god, please.
That's the world map.
The one next to the world map.
Fuck.
It's behind you.
Star Wars. Please
Yeah.
just talk about the Han Solo Star Wars, please.
Yes, talk about the Star Wars.
About all of my Harrison Fords over there.
Talk about the Star Wars anime that's starting next month. Well, this month.
And
by
it's
the
my
time it
table.
comes out.
Anything but that fucking pillow, please. Anything.
You're the
The colours are
numbnuts.
over there.
You're the numbnuts
Yes,
who brought it in.
No.
I just brought the actual pillow. Alex brought the cover.
Oh god! When I'm scrolling through Netflix to try and find something to talk about, and it appears.
Oh,
That was going to be something that I needed to remember to mention. Yeah, there we go.
appears.
It's a bit blurry. Wait, what's its rating?
What do you mean? Age rating
Yeah.
12.
Oh, it's a 12. Okay.
Only
fair
a
enough.
12?
Only a 12, yeah.
What's
I mean, what does it really show?
Are you sure this is anime, not hentai we're talking about? Because the fact that you were so surprised that it's only for 12.
It really isn't that
Like,
bad. It's only got your usual like anime tropes.
I was mainly surprised because of the things it talks about. I mean, I'm totally not seen this anime. No. What?
So eventually getting to the topic that I chose for this very first episode. Rascal doesn't dream of Bunny Girl, senpai.
Right, well, I'm definitely going to need this then.
WD, can't you get something stronger?
Oh, for fuck's sake!
I thought you would need something stronger.
And I'm waiting for the swig out the glass. Nope, okay.
Yeah, I love it when they do that, like pour it into the cup and then they just take the bottle. It's good comedy right there.
Is that the strongest shit you've got?
Yeah, I ran out of all the strong stuff.
I see.
Need more strongbow. I'm funny. I'm not. Or if you want its original title, and this is where I add in the disclaimer that I cannot pronounce Japanese to save my life.
Dude, you're looking at me.
Saishun Butayaro wa Body Girl dash Senpai no Yuma wo Minai? Minai? I don't know. I'm not Japanese.
You really can't pronounce Japanese,
I
can
really
you?
can't, no. It was originally its original release date, according to IMDb, I think it was. I can't remember. I don't even know my sources. Was October 4th, 2018. So it's not all that old. It's relatively recent. Yeah, I'm gonna talk about it for a bit. Feel free to interrupt me at any point, or if I just freeze up, it's because cameras are scary and I don't know what I'm doing with my life.
I wish
Oh,
I
you
went to the
just
Zero
freeze.
Connor now.
I need Skyrim, please.
I need the dolls. I need the dolls.
They're all just looking for ways to cope now.
Hey, that's a Japanese name.
As Alex alluded to earlier, he's actually seen this because I half forced him to. Because I'm a terrible friend.
And then you were sad because I wasn't as interested as you.
That actually reminds me of something I wanted to say. The main problem I find with this show is that it's only sub. It is only in Japanese. There is no English dub available, and there never will be.
And that's what makes it horrible for me.
Well, that's a shame. You just saying that you only watch sub anyways.
Yeah, you
No.
idiot.
In My Hero and Pokemon.
He said if the show interests him enough.
Yeah.
Whereas I typically tend to actually mainly watch in sub, because I mostly do it to challenge myself to actually read and pay
And
attention to a show.
Also, because you're a weeb.
That too. Even
Not
though I haven't
weeb who's
watched
watched,
all that
like-
much anime.
I was gonna say.
Weirdos watching subbed.
All of my anime comes through that guy there. Oh, sorry, Mike.
Yeah, but come on,
He's over
Bakugo's
there.
Which side am I, Tom?
voice
fine.
in dub is
That's
amazing.
Hayden.
like
That's,
to be on
that's,
Discord.
that's Hayden. That's Hayden.
Oh, sorry, Hayden. I just called you a guy. That's controversial.
Oh.
James instantly
Oh,
destroying his own show.
Alright then.
James,
that's
it
it.
hasn't even been
That's
20
it.
minutes. It hasn't even been 20 minutes, and you've already said something
It's
controversial.
a 10-minute mark.
No, about 17 minutes, something like that so far.
I've hit the
Really?
10-minute mark.
You,
It's
yeah,
fine.
Really?
you're almost at 20.
Don't worry, I told him that 20 minutes is the minimum for the thing that he wants to do.
So we're
Really?
nearly there.
Yeah.
So just keep delaying.
We haven't even spoke about the anime yet.
Come on,
No,
just
not
fucking-
really, no.
Just get into it before I start killing people.
Just treat it like a band-aid, or plaster, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, just rip it off really quick.
No, I tend to do it really slowly.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
but you're.
Hayden, stop pouring that drink in here, please.
Yeah.
Hit me up.
Oh, cheers. Cheers.
Strawberry milkshake and the beauty KD.
There you go.
Yeah, cheers.
Well, nice mix, but.
This is where you just hear someone come in a room and go like, what have you spilt all over your bed?
She poured into her glass.
Ah, refill. Nice. Already on the second.
Breaking my immersion
Yeah.
now, Alex.
Yeah,
Oh, I am.
it's sub only, it's only Japanese, so yeah, I'm perfectly fine with it. Much like how now with video games I tend to, if I get the option, put them in wake up, Alex. I tend to put them in Japanese with English subtitles. But yeah,
Because you like
for those who are dub, it's not available. Never will be.
Oh, that's a shame. We'll never watch it then.
I can't recommend the show. Yes, Thomas?
Switch lights.
Can I just say, you've been having a go at Alex for falling asleep. Slowpoke's been asleep since the start.
Can you blame him though?
Wow.
He can't hear this conversation, don't worry.
He did
I
for Slowpoke.
can't blame him. Alex chloroformed him before we started.
Mm-hmm.
It does smell like chloroform, doesn't it?
I mean, I've been like huffing it at the moment.
That's
It
why
just
Alex.
smells like
That's why Alex is falling asleep. He's sniffing his own
It's like
creation.
new plushy smell.
Even Uni One Kenobi's been like asleep most of the time. Poor girl.
I mean, my Hannah's just been on my coat rack, my like clothes rail for
Oh
ages.
yeah, best of both worlds, really.
Yeah.
Right, Hayden, you know what to say now.
James, you cancelled.
No, back
Welcome to the internet.
back. Go on.
Back to the shit show of a show.
Good girl.
Fair enough. I'll give you that.
Like the show does talk about like some interesting topics that I've never heard, never seen in an anime. Like
Yeah, I feel like it has a really interesting basis. It is as Funimation lists it, it's a comedy, drama, romance. I keep forgetting how high my camera is. I need to like raise my hands up really high.
Whoop whoop.
Raise the roof. Yeah, I really like the topics that it covers and how it covers them, because it is really, when it is pretty easy to define like what it has. It is your standard romance, boy, girl. Sorry, people that are like same sex. Not covered in this show was 2018. Sorry. And
boy, girl, but then if you forget about the girl, she disappears forever. Classic romance.
That's set in high school. They are in their late teens.
But then at the same time, you get stuck in a loop with another girl, and that you have to pretend to date that girl while you're also dating your main girl.
A lot of
classic romance.
Yeah, a lot of that happens like 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, and then then you also get like your girlfriend body switching with her sister.
Yeah,
who's not actually her biological sister.
Yeah,
but it's someone that looks up to her as a sister.
Mm-hmm.
Classic romance stuff.
This sounds like a plot from Adam Sandler film.
But then you also get
It does sound like an Adam Sandler.
But then you also get like the scientific woman who has then split into two because of she wants to get noticed.
He's just listing off all the arcs at this point.
Typical romance.
He's also just listing off every single Adam Sandler film on Wiki.
Yeah, literally every Adam Sandler film. Oh no, he dates this girl who forgets every single day. So they have 51st date.
That's Adam Sandler.
He finds a remote control which allows him to control reality. But unfortunately, he's fucking Adam Sandler. You can't change that.
It doesn't go that far. I find that it covers its topics quite well. As I was going to go on to before Alex mentioned it, all of this romance is based in quantum mechanics. You heard me right. It mixes romance with science to the point of like your more advanced sciences and mathematics, whichever one it's covered under.
And James wrote down the names of each one of them.
The thing is,
not all of them. I kind of gave up at some point because I just didn't understand it anymore.
Thing is, though, you two are thick as shit. So how do you follow it?
I didn't. That's why I didn't get into it as much as he did.
Yeah, and as this was probably my 3rd or 4th time going through it, I realized a lot more of it's. Like, when you rewatch something and it's like, oh yeah, that's a reference to later. I started to click onto a lot more of that than the first time where I was just along for the ride.
I think I understand now. Like, Alex is bored because it was all boring, sciencey, and because of him not liking girls, he didn't like any of the things. That's the only reason why you watch it is because you're attracted to all the girls because you're a horny little bastard.
To be fair, yes. Like, the story of why I've watched it in the first place was because, as you do, you browse through your streaming services, and you keep seeing this one thing pop up, and you just think, I know I'm going to see that again later, so maybe I'll watch it another time. Or you just think, well, that's really weird, I'm never touching that. And then eventually one day you think to yourself, you know what? I'm going to click on that show. I'm going to see what it's about.
That is honestly the fun anime. When you think, what the fuck is that? That looks so fucking weird.
Let's give it a chance. Yeah. Yes, Thomas?
Okay.
So, can we get this straight? Hayden's saying you would like this show because you like women.
Yeah.
I do.
That's why Alex doesn't like it.
You're watching anime That means you're allergic to vagina.
That's very true.
But what if you find a woman that likes anime?
They don't exist. They're not real, Alex.
They're a rare breed, Alex. That's why James is yet to find one.
It's just
I'm okay then.
Behind a computer.
No, they exist. It's just none of them like James.
I've never seen them.
Yeah, because I think you've really answered that question, James. You've already answered why.
Yeah, so it covers different like theories. So like the first arc of 3 episodes is Schrodinger's cat. Where notes, I'm terrible at keeping them. The second one is Groundhog Day. Oh wait, no, I wrote it somewhere else actually. Sorry, it's I don't know how to pronounce this. Laplace's Demon? Anyone ever heard of that? No?
Dude, I never heard this show till you brought it up.
Well, have you found it on Netflix? Hey, it's on Netflix now. Go watch it. If you like sub.
The movie's not though.
Oh, Measurement Theory. That's it for the first arc. Measurement Theory and Schrodinger's cat. Second one is whatever Laplace's Demon is. The third one covers quantum teleportation on a microscopic level. That's where I kind of just, whilst they have a lightsaber fight, that's the point where I kind of gave up on understanding the quantum mechanics. And it also has a movie.
Which you didn't know about until I showed you.
Yeah, that's true. When I originally watched it, I didn't know about the movie. Rascal Does Not Dream of a Dreaming Girl, or Saishun Butayaro Wayumira Shouju no Yuma wo Minai. Again.
The only good thing about this
which covers the theory of relativity.
The only good thing about this at the moment is just listen to James try and pronounce Japanese names.
When I actually get to the character names, oh boy.
Hey, you've been saying their names way too much, so you know.
True, yes. To be fair,
you've been searching them.
Now that I've wrote it down, I actually know the main character's name. For the longest time, because I don't remember names, I remember faces, so I knew his name. I could be proud, but I never knew his name.
I'm like that.
So it was just like that guy to me.
I remember faces, and then I was go fuck with that person's name.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I do.
Apparently, I'm on Hong Kong Google.
Number 1 Superdog.
No, I'm on Hong Kong's Google, like .com.hk.
Oh,
wow, that is an interesting factoid.
Thanks for that, Alex.
All I typed in was Rascal Doesn't Dream of a Dreaming Girl, the Japanese name, and then he put me onto
and into Hong Kong.
Hong Kong's Google.
Deport him from the country. He's out of here.
No.
At least Alex is, we're adding some content to this void.
Somewhat.
But yeah, with like anything really, I tend to prefer like the less known stuff, or as I say, the less meta stuff. So like when I'm playing a game, I tend to try and avoid to use like the most meta straps. I can't even speak English now. Or just like out of principle, or just because I'm an idiot and I know that I'm going to fail no matter what. So why not just use the dumb things?
Mm-hmm.
So when you find like something a little more niche like this, like I am all about it. Like I've never watched My Hero Academia. Well, you showed me the film, and I've definitely seen the first episode. But that's as far as I've got.
Same.
Yeah.
Same, James. Same.
To be fair, with My Hero Academia, like it doesn't really kick in until like
a good few episodes in.
Yeah, like it's so far you're just following Deku and Bakugo really in All Might. But when it gets the actual like when he goes into like UA, that's
when he actually learns how to use his abilities as well.
Oh yeah, it starts off he's basically like you, James. His hand gets completely destroyed every 5 seconds.
But his is due to him punching. Yours is down to you fapping.
Yeah.
Just like Tom.
I know, Tom told the immunity.
Okay, Tom's got immunity, I see.
I'm like a chameleon. It just grows back.
A starfish.
what comedians do it. Well, not comedian. But lizard is it? I can't remember which lizard it is. There's a lizard that does it as well.
Good fun.
Gecko's got her tails back.
Gecko. That's the one I'm thinking of with the tail.
Yeah.
We're learning great things here.
Yes, and
You're
also
Gecko.
like James is like Deku. He can only heal when an old lady kisses him. True fact. True fact. There. Did you know that?
Ooh. I did not know this, no.
What old
Yeah.
ladies?
As I said, I've never
James?
seen my hero.
He heals other ways.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't.
The
don't
quickest
wanna know.
way is with an old woman, though.
I don't.
Mhm.
How to put like an anime in no context and make it sound what the fuck even more?
Yeah.
But you can do that with most animes, and it's hilarious. When you've got like people that know the show, it's just like, oh yeah, like Deku could be healed by kissing old women. Other people are just like,
No.
and then they actually watch the show, and it's like, yeah, that's great, I love it.
No, getting kissed by an old lady. No, if he kisses her first, it doesn't work. She has to kiss him. Okay.
Specific
That's how it
requirements.
works.
Ah,
Yes,
no!
yes,
I'm bleeding to
yes.
death! Right, love, you mind kissing me, please?
Please,
Oh,
please, elderly lady.
and afterwards, you're like, good time. Have some gum bears. Walks up.
Yeah.
Have a Werther's original.
Brilliant.
Ignore it, James. James, you're in the middle of recording.
Oh, sorry. I'm easily distracted.
Yes. I think you got ADHD.
Hello.
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 Yeah.
Well, yeah, I suppose now that we've had that tangent,
Mm-hmm.
we've had a quick break. Welcome back to the show. Mugcast, hello. I'm in charge
Okay.
here.
Leave while you can. Quickly, save yourself.
I gave you an out to talk about something else, and you took it. You swarmed on it.
Yeah.
we're like
We
a
did.
pack of wolves.
Yeah. So I was saying I like the lesser known stuff, so that's why I can. Well, that's why I seek out shows like this. I mean, I know probably the other ones I listed aren't all that unknown, but yeah. So like when I'm like scrolling through like show lists, I'll tend to ignore like, oh yeah, I've been told to watch Black Clover, or I've only got like halfway through Fairy Tale, but I can't be bothered to go back to it.
Basically,
But
what
then
you're
I see
saying is you're not a generic scrub like most people.
I'll take that. I'll take that as a compliment.
Craig, on the other hand.
Doesn't
Then-
watch anime.
Then you
No.
see Rascal doesn't read a Bunny Girl Senpai, and you're like, yes.
James has read Bunny Girl in this text and was like, well, I'm down.
Well, mostly I tend to judge mine on the like the images they give. You know,
Oh, yeah.
whatever
The
they're actually
images.
called.
Yeah.
So
You
when
just
you
thought-
basically just got, well, you've got
A woman dressed in.
well, the other side of that is the bunny suit, but I can't be bothered to flip that over. But when you've got her in the bunny suit, I'm like,
he can't flip it over anyway. It's stuck to the wall.
It's not.
It can't
disclaimer,
go
it's not.
it can't go over and spin like to turn it around, because if it gets up there, everyone sees massive like tent. Well, massive.
It's like when you've got to go to the front of the class to give the presentation, and well, timing happens. It's like, hey, this is where all of your blood has been rushing to. You should show that to everybody.
Joe, why all the blood?
To be fair though, James, I don't think you should be in the school
Do you know?
in the first place. Like, you should really be there.
Do you know why all the blood's rushing there? Because we've been thinking of kissing old women again.
Oh, it's like, this like, old lady English teacher. Oh yes.
He's heard about My Hero Academia from Hayden. That's why he went back to school.
Yeah. That's why.
He's getting
No
schooled by
one
us.
I'm gonna go develop my quirk. Let's go.
Yeah. That's a good thing. That's something to talk about. That's not the boring anime you're talking about. What
Boring?
quirk?
I'm boring, and I
Yeah.
can't present
What
very well. But the show's not
What-
boring.
Sure. What quirk would you have? Yeah, come on. What quirk would you have if you could?
We can
choose?
talk about My Hero Academia on another show when you get to host. This is
No.
mine.
Hayden's got her own show. She doesn't need to host
Yeah.
Mugcast.
Yeah, because see, I can have my own show named after me, where we can talk about Ben 10 all day.
Yeah, and that time it was Alex who dared me to give her own show.
What? When am I going to get there to have my show?
You already got one. James dared me to give you Dragon and Bear.
Yeah.
Wait, I'm just realising I'm greenlighting a lot of shows, but just getting dared to do it. Damn it.
It's a great
You're very
policy.
naive.
Keep it up.
You're very naive.
Anyway,
I
massive tangent
I
over.
fall for stuff very easy.
Can we stay on the tangent, please?
So obviously, we mentioned the show's like very got its like it's very heavy themes of like science and quantum mechanics, but like the central theme of it is something that it has two names for that it decides the characters will say in the first half and then changes at episode 9. Even though from the start it shows it as a different name, but it's something called adolescent syndrome or puberty syndrome. Where did I write the definition for that? I can't follow my notes.
Nine.
I
James.
said they were teenagers.
Go!
Breach!
There we go. Abnormal experiences during adolescence. I just can't speak anymore. Due to sensitivity and instability. So you've got people that aren't quite right in the head. Have probably got some issues.
Oh, that's why you relate.
Yeah. And these develop due to them being female and having a close proximity to the main character.
Well, that's sexist.
There's only one guy it happens to in the entire show, and that's the main character. The rest are women. It's anime.
Typical incel. Like, oh, the women want me. Yeah.
Also, another prerequisite to have that is that you have to want to have relations with the main character. It's one of those shows. Everybody wants the main character.
Right. Because that makes sense.
Of course it... Well, yeah, it's anime. Of course it does.
Oh, of course. All these, like, you got to have some kind of escapism, you know. Some kind of disbelief.
What's that audio I can hear? Are you playing Skyrim?
Maybe.
She is, yes.
Take your fucking volume off!
Oh, I couldn't hear it.
I was doing it for the joke.
I'm just saying, all I can hear is like this very muffled, every now and then guy talking. I'm like, hello?
Oh, I could. I was just gonna let it happen. Like, if I'm boring you to death, then hooray! This is gonna make for great content.
Oh, it's okay. We're used to it with you.
Yeah. So it's based within this kind of like mental illness kind of deal. That the main character, whose name is Sukata, I probably said that wrong already. Azusagawa. Yeah, I think it's something like that. He first, well, his instance of it is he kind of just wakes up one night and he's got like a massive scar, kind of like 3 like animal claws across his chest.
Oh, I'm glad that wasn't going where I thought it was going. He woke up one night with a massive
And he just absolutely had to get some action with that.
Yeah. He woke up on his knob.
He just wakes up like he's just covered in blood, and he has no idea where this scar came from.
Welcome to puberty.
Exactly, yeah. You'll just start bleeding.
Wait, wasn't it because of his sister though, not because of her?
In a sense, yes, because
she was getting like
she was getting
cyberbullied. You know, like this is what Hayden does in a
yeah, exactly. And if it keeps happening, it gets to that level. Her name being Kaede Azugawa, obviously because they are sister. She is Sakata's sister. And yeah, she also has this syndrome because she's getting bullied at school and also on social media.
Did you say that they're making that syndrome as if they like the main character? Does that mean?
Yes. Well, no. She makes reference to it because, of course, she does. It's anime. In the very first episode, she wakes up in his bed. I'm
re-following again. I was getting really confused for a second. I was like, wait,
she's in his bed, but he pushes her away and he actively says, like, you've got to stop, like, climbing into bed with me. Because they only, the two of them, the main character and his sister, live together because they don't live with...
Go.
I chained the door, he can't. They don't live with their parents because their mother had a mental breakdown because of what her two children were going through, and his father had to go, keep their mother company and make sure that she was all right. So they don't live with their parents anymore. They live in their own apartment, which is one of the main environments that you'll keep seeing in the show. Is Sakata's apartment. Or flat.
Yeah, that totally makes it
Apartment.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, yeah, of course. But yeah, it's one of those. These things are going to happen, but I kind of find that the show does it in a way that doesn't. I know how this is going to sound, but it doesn't make me cringe. Most shows where they do it's just like, oh, not this again. But
you keep on watching it.
Yes.
That sounds kind of sus, not gonna lie.
But honestly, the way that this show handles their character, fucking love it. Their character development's done very well, and you don't actually have a massive cast. I mean, I have how many names listed here?
There's not that many. There's there's five girls, 6 girls, and the main character.
Yeah,
and then another 2 guys, maybe.
Yeah, 9. That's literally what I've got listed here, is 9 names. So you've got 9 characters that are the primary focus. You've got some side characters that are in 2 episodes. I have one particular in mind, which is a journalist who's in the first arc, but then
I forgot about her. So
yeah, because she never comes up again. Honestly, I forget about her until I rewatch the show. But you've got some of those characters that are they're in this arc and then they're gone. But for the most part, you haven't got all that many characters. They're all developed really well. They're all introduced before they're really actually needed for the show. And obviously I appreciate that rather than just going, here's your character. So yeah, I feel like character development's handled really well in the show and things like that. But yes, there is a lot of female character just wants his dick.
Okay.
Because it's a main character. Of course they want his PP.
Yeah, you gotta keep the incels happy.
Yeah. But obviously nothing comes out, and actually might be a couple of spoilers in this, by the way. Probably should have prefaced that earlier.
It's a 2018 movie. It's not watched it now.
Yeah, exactly.
Not what you said Hayden, but what's why.
When it comes to, I didn't say that there's 13 episodes of this show, 1 season, and then the 1 movie. But in the very last arc of the main show, Ikeda actually gets her memories back because as part of her syndrome, she actually, obviously because she's repressing all the memories of people telling her to go kill herself, she kind of just gets an entirely new personality, and she just stays at home all day. She doesn't go out, doesn't really talk to strangers. No. Now do you see why I like this show?
Yeah, I was seeing I'm seeing some similarities,
Yeah, exactly. And at the end of the show, she actually kind of just returns to being herself. Oh yeah, my point was that when she goes back to herself, I was like, wait, where was I going with this? Oh yeah, she doesn't at all have those traits of Oni-san. Please let me play over.
Also, the same with not talking to anyone else as well.
Oh yeah, obviously.
She's the same.
So it's not always about girl wants man. There are very much other elements to it. Yeah, as we keep saying, the show is the main show is broken down into separate arcs. So you've got the first arc, which is this one's here. That's mine. I'll introduce her 2 hours into the video because I'm very good at structure.
Yeah, you are. Sure.
She's main girl. She is number one. She is number one.
Da,
In
da,
your opinion.
da, da, da. Please, will someone kill
This
me?
is mainly opinion based
Someone
when he
kill
says
me.
that.
Well, I mean, yeah, I like some of the other girls on the show, but she's the best.
In your opinion.
So she's the main element of the first arc, which is 3 episodes. Then the second one, which is a completely separate character, is 3 episodes. And then the third and the fourth only cover 2 episodes, and then the last one is for the last 3 episodes. So each arc typically has the same amount of time. And I kind of feel like I'd probably say definitely one of the weaker arcs, and the other one that's 2 episodes. They're the right ones to give 2 episodes to. Maybe feel like the 4th arc could have got a 3rd episode instead of the 2nd one, but not my biggest complaint. So I kind of touched on the arcs earlier. The first one is she's a celebrity. She goes to the same high school. As the main character, you learn this in the very first sequence where he actually sees her in the library, because, I mean, there's no libraries anymore. And he sees her walking around in the bunny suit.
Yeah, because of libraries nowadays.
Yeah, exactly.
No reference there, Alex.
She's probably still going there, because you might see a wild bunny girl. She's like walking around, just waving in people's faces, trying to get people's attention. Until she kind of just like remarks to main character Sakata, is just like, "You can see me, right?" He's like, "Yeah." And they do their introductions. They find out that they go to the same high school, and she's doing this because she's gone on like a hiatus from her role, from her career as a celebrity, focus on her studies mostly, but also I can see you're all on your phones.
No.
I wonder why.
No.
No, I'm not on my phones. I'm on my Switch playing Skyrim.
That too.
Alex is letting me know that he can't talk right now.
Yeah, since you're talking about your wife, I'm trying to get mine.
No, yeah, Alex he said he can't talk right now
Rana.
Oh, okay, fair
because they're
enough.
demolishing in the next room.
Just see the smile.
That's an interesting way of saying someone's getting railed.
Someone being pounded against the wall. Man, at least someone's getting some action today.
I know, yeah.
I love how you start getting into the conversation when we're distracted.
I'm just confused.
Yeah, so because she takes a hiatus from her acting career, she actively starts like being forgotten by people. They are cognitively no longer acknowledging her existence, so they can't see her, hear her. She literally doesn't exist to people, and she is slowly disappearing. This actually comes up again, well, not again actually until the movie, where a similar situation actually starts happening to Sakata, when there's a very much an element of time in this show, and he starts doing some actions where that actually sort of takes him back in time in a sense. It's not like time travel, it's all scientifically explained, because of course it is, in your average romance anime. And it actually shows, when he isn't being able to be perceived, when he goes to like grab a phone, like it kind of like manifests into a different item. So the phone is still there for the person that's actually in this room with him, but the one that he grabbed is basically its own separate entity and he can't use it. I'm explaining this very poorly. But yeah, so over the course of like these 3 episodes, Mai becomes increasingly unable to be perceived by people, except for our main guy, Sakata, who's with her pretty much all the time. And they develop their relationship from that, because obviously she kind of becomes a little bit dependent on him by the fact that she can't go shopping because we'll go to any like cafe or anything because waiters and shop clerks, she doesn't exist to them.
That's why stealing's available.
It's true, yeah, because as I said with the phone example, anything that she would have picked up would have basically replaced itself. So, like, during one of the episodes, they actually show them in a shop, and she picks up a carrot. And to other people, that carrot would still be there, and they'd still be able to pick it up. So basically, yeah, she could have just lived a life of stealing. Which wouldn't technically be stealing, because it's still there for the people in the actual reality.
So it's like she's a second at a sink the rest of the time.
I didn't quite catch that, sorry.
So she's basically like a second out of sync of real time, pretty much.
Yes.
In
a sense, yeah.
Basic physics. I watch Doctor Who, I know.
And that's where, the link to measurement theory and Schrodinger's cat comes from, because obviously measurement theory is, as it said in the show, is the existence of something is confirmed only when it is observed. So if nobody is observing Mai, then she doesn't exist to them. And obviously with Schrodinger's cat, where you put the cat in the box with a poison emitting at a rate and something to detect the poison at a rate of like an hour, and you check the box in 30 minutes, the question is the cat alive or dead? Well, until you open the box, it's both. Something like that.
Yeah, yeah, basically.
So Mai is half alive, half dead. So obviously, though, to those who can't perceive her, she's in a sense dead to them, and those that can, obviously, she is alive to them. This all builds to the point where, obviously at first it was like, they actually travel to a distant city together, and no one there is able to see them. But then it starts coming closer and closer to home, and I think that else I failed to mention about the show is, I know that I'm emotionally unstable and weak, but this show plays into emotions very well, to the point where I have nearly cried to it multiple times. Even when rewatching it for the purpose of this, I nearly cried. Specifically episode 3 and the movie. Those seem to hit the hardest for me. The first point that gets me is when she sends her mother seconds as her manager for all of her acting career. She sends a text to meet her at the beach. That's a scene that's used a lot in the show. She goes with Sakata, and Mai's own mother actively just walks right past her, unable to perceive her. And it goes to Sakata and is like, "Are you the one that sent me this text that brought me out here?" And she shows her phone, and the sender is actually blurred out. It has this white blur effect for people who actively don't know her anymore or don't acknowledge her existence. And so, the first point where it really hits is, someone's own mother has completely forgotten their existence. When Sakata says, you were sent here by Mai, and she's like, "Who's that?" Your own daughter. Woman says, I don't have a daughter.
Okay, I guess he plays on the emotions a lot.
Yes, it does that quite a lot. Yes.
At least it's not the generic fan service kind of show. It's more of
yeah, exactly. That's what I love about it. It could easily very much be well, here's a girl in a bunny suit. Isn't that great? But oops.
But there's no flashing lights. I don't care.
No warnings like that. Yeah, playing on emotions is the main thing of the show. Yeah, and it's quite said in that aspect. There isn't much fan service. It's mainly story based. Yeah. I'm reading out what Alex is typing into a Discord.
I can't speak because
just to confirm why I'm going off on another tangent.
You? Tangent? Never.
So what's the purpose of this show? Because you've almost been talking an hour.
Really? Wow, go me.
Yes, Jesus
Well,
Christ.
I finally got to be able to get into it, rather than talking about My Hero Academia's way of Deku healing.
Because that's more
and-
interesting.
Toffee sweets. Let's see what Alex said. So much is getting cut off.
Hmm.
Fair enough. These things happen. Is the main purpose of the show? Good question. Because I mean, things like the synopsis is just Sakata never expected to find a bunny girl in the library. What's more, she's a famous actress who's disappearing from everyone's view but his. That just sums up like the first 3 episodes. You've then got like all of the other arcs that I said have their own set of episodes. I feel like I said, the main focus of the show is this adolescence puberty syndrome and all the different ways they use it. So my disappearing, so I'll sort of get to the end of her arc to the point where literally no one at school, her school anymore, like acknowledges her existence. So she literally becomes only existent to an ever dwindling amount of people, to the point where it gets to 2 people, which is Sakata and his scientist friend, who's actually called Ryo Futaba. She's a reoccurring character. She has her own arc. I was about to say she didn't, but then I remembered she was a female side character, so yeah, of course she did. It's his other friend that doesn't get his own arc because he's a dude. Yuma Kumini. Kuinimi? I don't fucking know anymore.
No one cares about the blokes. They're inconsequential.
Alex just gave up then when you said that. He was like, oh.
So she only becomes similar to those 2 people anymore because they haven't slept. Because obviously, like, it's explained like when you go to sleep, like, you know, like detach from the consciousness and things like that. So after they go to sleep, they forget about Mai's existence. So Sakata actively, you know, starts like downing energy drinks and pumping pills, you know, as a teenager would, keep himself awake so that he doesn't forget Mai. This is like during the time of his exams, so he's using that excuse of like, oh, it's to help me focus for exams. But Mai catches on to him and actively like slips him a sleeping pill and, you know, like thanks him for trying to remember her. But then watches him as he falls off to sleep and then he forgets about her. Only then for her to be remembered by the fact that she slipped him a note. She roofies him, exactly.
Again, the reason why you like this show.
That's great.
And he ends up remembering her in a very memorable scene for this show, where he actively runs out of exams saying he's got to go take a dump and starts screaming to his entire school about his love for Mai.
Who's Connor?
And, you know, because he's screaming out her name and how he loves it. It's cringy, but it's like the right amount.
The right amount?
Yeah. It's not too cringy. It does drag on a little bit how they're just talking out in like this basketball court, and like a teacher really should have got onto them sooner, but hey ho. But yeah, she returns to everyone's cognitive thinking because he screams out her love, his love for her. I can't even do genders anymore. They're not a thing anymore anyway, it's fine. Yeah, it's very much a base around this idea of the adolescence puberty syndrome and how it affects different people. So Mai disappearing, and then you've got character named let me try and find her. Where is she? There she is, Tomoe Koga. Which I said which is the Groundhog's Day, where Sakata and Koga keep reliving the same day because she gets asked out by like one of the biggest. More alcohol is required. Oh, poison! No.
Right, it has been an hour. Time to drink it.
Yeah, exactly. By one of like the biggest jocks in the school, and her friend is really into him, and she doesn't want to turn him. it plays a lot into like social pressures of the school, because the word atmosphere, or as they say it, cookie, is used a hell of a lot in the first 3 episodes.
Cookie.
You know, like, you can't go against it, otherwise, you know, you'll get like what happened to Kada. You'll be thrown out, you know, like left alone, bullied, and you know, like you'll be alone, no friends. So yeah, so you've got to go along with the atmosphere. So she can't turn this guy down, but she wants to. Yeah, and that starts this cycle of reliving the same day. So then, in order to try and break out of it, Koga makes Sakata agree to pretend to be her boyfriend. So they start pretend dating for a while, just to try and get this guy off of her back. Which obviously, eventually they do. Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention they kick each other's butts.
In kinky way, or
That had to be mentioned.
From not responding, I'd say not a kinky way, Hayden.
yeah.
No, it's it actually happens during like they do have these things where they go off into like these side. It's not just like the main story just keeps going. There are like these fun little side gags or stories where Sakata finds like a little girl who's crying in the park because she's lost her mother, and Sakata goes over to help him. But it's actually Koga who gets the wrong idea and thinks he's trying to like kidnap her and kicks him in the butt. And then screams like the little girl, like, "Go run, here's your chance." And then he's able to explain to her he was just trying to help. The little girl kind of just nods her head. And so she bends herself over and goes, "Here you go, you can get payback. Kick me in the butt." Only when he does it, obviously she yelps out in pain as a police officer is cycling by. And the two of them actively do end up being pulled into a police station for a talk.
Okay.
But you don't get to see the talk. It's mostly used because Sakata was actually going on a date with Mai, and she said like, "Oh, you know, if you're even a second late, I'm leaving." And you know, he gets pulled into this police talk. I was going to say interrogation, but it's just the police officer yelling at them for kicking each other's butts in public, and that makes him really late. Which I love how they do like these little side things that all actually feed into the main story. But that's a bit of a tangent. So yeah, Koga and Sakata eventually start fake dating. And they're able to progress on the time, but it gets to a point where Koga actually gets real feelings for Sakata. And they start reliving a different day over and over. They actually do it like 5 times, I think. And you know, Sakata has to get Koga to reveal her true feelings for him, of which he friend zones her. He kind of said he was going to do the entire time, but hey ho. And then the cycle goes all the way to the back, and then they're able to live on the days as it goes. That bit is where the Laplace's demon comes in, which is a fictitious existence where this demon has the power to instantaneously ascertain the position and momentum of every atom existing in this world to calculate the future. Where Koga, in this example, is Laplace's demon, and she keeps rolling the days over until she gets the outcomes that she wants. Suck dick. But obviously in the end she can't get it, she confesses feelings, and it's like, yeah, okay. I mean, you're never going to have it, but we can be best of pals, and then time can move on. And then it gets into the third example, which is Futaba's. She, from the start, is in denial about the existence of adolescence syndrome, until the point where she splits into 2 people. There becomes 2 Ryo Futabas. This is one of the shorter arcs, and I'm glad it is. This is one of the 2-episode ones, because I feel like it didn't need a 3rd episode. Back, Alex. Nice to have you.
I think so.
We shall see.
It felt like literally my room was shaking. I think they're demolishing a cupboard, like a wardrobe,
Good fun.
and I'm just like, fucking hell.
And there's a gun. So yeah, she ends up splitting into two different people because her thing is mostly around like self-hate. Come on, James, say words. You can do this.
Yeah, you know all about this, Hayden, don't you?
Self-hate and body shame.
Yeah, even more for the Hayden subject.
And she kind of ends up making this account online where she takes pretty risque pictures. It doesn't show anything, but it doesn't show anything. It's things like pictures of her legs, or like she has pretty big bazonkas for a high school student. So you might get some pictures of that, and they're progressively getting lewder and lewder, and that's the problem.
And then there's like a point, isn't there, where Sakata sees both of them, but like at different points of the day, and tries to talk to them.
Yes, yeah, he keeps going between the two.
Then he kind of like puts two and two together in a way.
He gets shown the account by one of the Futabas. Yeah. And obviously he passes funny comment about this. Because in the end of the day, it is a comedy, according to Funimation. And there is some really good comedy in it, to be fair.
Really? I'm not finding any of it.
Like he's very dirty in personality.
Oh, yeah.
Like how My-san always steps on his foot, and it's like a very kinky thing. But that's supposed to be like the comedy part, which James has neglected to say. Like whenever he's like says something wrong, Mai will stand on his foot and like kind of grind it, like a dominatrix kind of thing, and show dominance. Because realistically, there's no way he would be able to get with her in real life, in my opinion. But yeah.
Well, in a sense, he does.
Yeah. But that's like the movie wise, though.
Yeah. Towards the end of the movie, like we can get onto that rather than just mishmashing things. We can get through it.
Can we?
Yes,
Tom. We're getting there.
Yes, Tom.
There's only two more ranks, and then the movie, which I'll try and do as short a summary as I can, and then you're free. Does Tom want to talk?
Do you want to talk, Tom?
Honestly, the first time I watched it, it really confused me, and that was the thing that I liked about it. Like, multiple times through episodes, I think,
Tom still wants to talk.
And what on earth is going on, and then...
James.
Still going on.
And then they'd have the scientists explain it and be like...
James.
That's great. Yes,
James. Let Tom say his question.
Okay, go on. You
got 20 minutes, because I feel like if I let you go on any longer, you're going to keep going for the next hour, and it's going to be over 2 hours long. You've got 20 minutes to cram as much in as you can.
So yeah, Futaba's where quantum teleportation comes in, but I didn't understand it anymore at that point, and I literally just wrote, I give up. Think about blueprints of her, it could remake, if sent to somewhere else, it could be remade. I don't know, I'm stupid.
I get that.
Yeah, well, there you go. Hayden understands. I didn't.
I understand.
So yeah, eventually, like, a lot of this is just Sancta basically getting involved in other women's problems because mental instability, and because he's like the first instance of this puberty syndrome happening, he kind of always like, he's a good guy in the end, he always wants to help his friends, and
he's
totally be a magnet for all of this as well.
And all the women end up just falling. Well, actually, no, to be fair, Futaba doesn't fall for him. No, not all of the women fall for him. Futaba doesn't. Fair enough to her. Yeah, so hers is, explained to two people, and they're eventually able to get her to come back into one. But I'll move on from hers. Hers arc is my least favourite. I don't hate it by any stretch of the imagination, but it is my least favourite. The next one is one of my favorites, which is the body swap between Mai and her sister. What's her name? Oh god, Nodaka Toyohama. I've said that. I've completely butchered that. Nodoku. I'm going to stop trying.
Fuck's with my hammer? What?
Oh, there's the banging. Yeah. So the two sisters ending up switching bodies. My sister is she's a pop star. She's in her own band, but she has a bit of an inferiority complex towards her sister. Well, yeah, as I mentioned, they were half sisters, so different. No, same dad, different moms. I was going to say, like, then why did Mai's mom say it doesn't have a daughter? It's because it's different moms, but same dad. So she's always, like, compared to, well, the sister is always, like, compared to Mai, and, you know, the parents are always saying, like, oh, why are you not as good as Mai, and all things like that. And, you know, because of all this, they actually end up swapping bodies, and they have to kind of, like, live each other's lives for a while, until the point where they can sort of sort out their differences and be a good, you know, happy family. With Sankato in the middle, because of course he is. Yes. I think that's as far as I'll go into it, since I'm on a time limit. And then the final arc of the series is the one that I've actually talked about previously, with Keida, where she actually ends up reverting to herself. She gets all of her past memories back. Goodbye, Alex.
Why is he
I
allowed
can't
to
deal with this
leave?
anymore.
Yeah.
Why is it? Why? Favoritism, not his Hayden. Favoritism.
I know, yeah. Why is his door locked?
I thought it was.
This is cool, eh, man?
To be fair, he's actually watched the show, so...
Oh no, don't make us watch the show as well, please. No.
No. As I said,
This is bad enough.
since it's only sub, I'll spare you the pain. But yeah, Kaida gets... she basically reverts to her past self, gets all of her old memories back, which she had forgotten because of kind of just, like, shutting herself in. And she goes from, like, this really cutesy, like, little sister that's all, like, reliant on her big brother to your standard stroppy teenager. You know, this, like, character that you've grown to know and probably love over the course of the series is just completely gone, and you're just left with the new, well, it's technically the real Kaide, but no.
Welcome to puberty.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, like, probably all of this can be linked back to that, and obviously that's why that's, like, the main, like, thing of the show.
Except you're still being babied.
Oof.
Oh. I reckon Alex isn't actually having any problems with people banging next door. I think he's just trying to find some excuse
to get out of here. Oh no!
Yeah,
Someone's knocking my door. I better go see who it is.
I mean, it's slightly different with her arc, because in the end, you know, she doesn't, like, it's not like everything is just, like, reverted back. Like, she stays as, well, technically what is, you know, like, the true Kaede, but, you know, like, they learn to live with her again. And things like that.
So she's already turned back.
Yes.
So this is like her turning back anyways. It's the result. The ending of all of her trauma.
Yeah. And all the way through this, obviously, you know, you've still got romance going on between Sakato and Mai. And it all goes through its challenges, because obviously Sakato has to pretend to date Koga, and, you know, obviously that's going to put a strain on his relationship with Mai, because, you know, he's pretending to date another woman.
But it's okay, because that one's real.
and he's spending all this time with like his friend Futaba during her issues, and she's really busy when she returns back to her acting career. So you've always got that that relationship between those two going on over the course of the show, but you get to see like its tests and its strains, and it always holds true in the end. When he has to spend a lot of time with my sister during the body swap, and at the end when he has to deal with his sister basically going from becoming this entirely new person to doing it again. You see like how he has to deal with it, how the person themselves end up dealing with it. I feel like it's quite good at dealing with like this is this person's perspective on it. This is the scientist friend's perspective on it that he always ends up asking for help, and this is Sankata's perspective on it. Go on, Thomas.
Hayden's turned into the kid from The Sixth Sense. She's hiding in the corner, looking like she's seeing dead people.
I see nerd people.
I see weebs.
Okay, so I feel like I'm running out of things to say on the main series, so I'll move on to the movie, which it's kind of feel like it's the way of putting like the bow on the top. It ends up with the happy ending of no one has issues with the adolescent syndrome anymore, and they just go on living normal lives. Because over the course of this series, there's this like side character. Her name is Shoko Makinohara. And I say side characters, but a lot of these are like pretty fundamental to the plot, so the fact that I'm missing them is just because I'm bad at this, and you're probably regretting ever greenlighting this show.
Yep.
And the movie very much focuses on her, because it kind of gives like the explanation to like the undying questions of Sakata's scar is never explained during the main series. He says he kind of just got it, but what it actually is canonically he ends up in a traffic accident, which he ends up dying from, and because he had a donor card on him, which he actually shows him picking up in the film, his heart is transplanted for, his heart is given for a heart transplant for Shoko, because she had a heart disease, and she needed the transplant, and it actually turns out that Sakata's heart is actually given to Shoko. So that's why he had the scar over his chest, which actively ends up bleeding whenever he's near Shoko. Shoko comes in various forms, actually. She has like her primary school version of her 7 or something like that, a middle school version, and an adult version of herself, which you see during the series and in the movie. Shoko's kind of like, they say that she's Sakata's first love because she's introduced in the show as someone who actually came to his side when he was first dealing with his own issues of the scar and Kada shutting herself in and becoming an entirely new person because of her cyberbullying. She's the one that comes and just talks to him, and obviously ends up falling for her because she helped him, kind of like how Mai and Sakata end together because he helped her not disappear. Completely lost train of thought. Let's go.
There's a train of thought?
Not really, no. I kind of just keep going, and then it eventually just hits a brick wall. Nope.
No. That it now.
Shutting down.
Are we done? Alex, you come back now.
So to sum up, James.
Okay, yeah, because
Sum up.
honestly, I've completely lost it.
Yeah. Since you've lost your train of thought, just give us a little sum up then. Not just the movie, like the whole thing in general.
It's one of those things where it takes, well, this is how I feel about it. It takes like your generic, like your romance or your comedy,
Basically, generic rom-com.
Yeah, but it doesn't feel like that. Obviously, because it's more so the romance than the comedy, and it entwines it with, you know, like scientific theory and really like crazy the out there things. That's what really draws it to me. It does like really wacky things with them, rather than, you know, just here's these two people, here's their relationship, this is how it builds. Ooh. It's here's, you know, these two people, they've swapped bodies, now they've got to try and resolve that issue together. And, you know, everything else is kind of just intertwined into that. And, like, it never feels like anything is forgotten or dropped. It's just... I feel like there's so many moving parts to it that obviously I miss so much about it. Just because obviously someone who's actually watched the show would be like, he hasn't talked about this.
And those 5 people can fuck off.
But like the purpose of this wasn't supposed to be pardon me, sorry, wasn't supposed to be a review. It was supposed to just be a general talk about it. And I did the thing I always do, where I've actually got a chance to talk about it. I'm gonna just keep going for 5 minutes, not want to know what I'm on about, and then I'm gonna catch up with myself and be like, wait, where am I?
A little bit more than 5 minutes, but okay.
It felt like 5 minutes to me.
It felt like 5 years to me.
But yeah, they do all these different things. They find ways of incorporating it into just like boring, mundane things, and everything's kind of just resolved in the end. I mean, it works. Not necessarily every show needs just that, like, oh, you know, here you go, here's your happy ever after. I mean, it could have just ended on, you know, we never actually get to learn on why Sakata had the scar. I was perfectly fine with where the show ended in the end. You know, the Sakata and Mai, you know, they never end up kissing, which is, again, another quite important thing during the show, is they keep talking about it, but they never end up actually doing it. And yeah, that's like perfectly fine. Not everything needs to be explained, and the film does end up doing that, but I still like it all the same.
Mm-hmm. So what you're saying is it's basically an Adam Sandler film, but animated, right? We're still on that, right? Still in agreement. It's an Adam Sandler film.
I'm bad at explaining things, so sure, you can keep that.
Yes, it's an Adam Sandler film. So, this review of Pixels.
Well, as these two keep mentioning, I have gone on for far too long, and I apologise. Yeah. This will be a pain for me to watch as well.
It was far too long when it was like the first 5 minutes.
Probably, yeah. You are going to have a lot to cut down from the... I apologise as well. Again, I'm just going to keep doing it.
That's what I ramble.
Sorry. That was the first episode of Mugcast. Someone else will be I'll obviously still be here. I am the host, but someone else will be leading the charge next time, so it won't be as painful. But unfortunately, I will be coming back at some point.
Every 2 weeks.
Sorry?
It's every 2 weeks.
Every 2 weeks.
You'll be back every 2 weeks.
Every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
With me and Connor crammed in between.
I can't sit for like week after week. I need a break.
Yeah, but obviously that was the original idea I had. Like, you've now had the pain of listening to me ramble on, so I'll let you do it to me. That sounds like...
I did good.
Like, I'll kick you, you kick me. Like, that sounds fair, right?
Sure. I mean, when I kick you, it's like right in the gut. When you kick at me, it's more like a slight little tap on the knee. You know what I mean? He's just like, eh. And I'm like, oh, thanks, and your fucking knee.
You're not going to be an adventurer at this rate.
A fucking knee in the throat. You start like choking on the floor, dying. That's basically like how it goes. That's our dynamic.
Yes, Thomas?
Talking of obviously rotating talking hosts, as a producer on this, executive producer and whatnot,
all the titles.
For the fact that I pretty much host like 4 different shows, I'm not going to be hosting. I'm having this is my sit back podcast. I get to sit back and just listen.
But that means there's more chance for James to talk. Please stop. Get back up. Please.
You shouldn't have said that, Thomas.
Yeah, this is more my relaxation podcast of just listening, which is what I've done.
I didn't go into enough detail. This needs an episode 2.
No. No.
No, it's fine. No. Topics are one and done.
Oh, fuck.
Should be my position, Hayden. You should have greenlit this on the main channel, and you could have done what I've just done. And that he sat back and relaxed.
If I did it on the main channel, what I would have, when I edited it, I would have basically cut out all of it. It would just be James saying, "Welcome to Mugcast," and he goes, "Credits."
It's to him say goodbye.
Yeah, that's all I'd have done. Well, I'd put all my funny moments in, but
yeah, just random cuts in there.
Yeah.
But what's the purpose of this video?
Welcome to Mugcast. So what you're saying is this is an Adam Sandler movie. Goodbye.
Yeah. Shit, James. Goodbye.
For the fact this is the first video I've been able to do since this has happened, I want to address the audience real quick.
Sorry.
That too, yes, but
oh, sorry.
We would like to thank you for your support, for the fact that we just hit 100 subs.
Yeah, and
this is the 100 sub special.
I don't want to say.
We're at 102 now, but it's the first video I've been able to actually speak on since hitting 100, which was Friday, I believe it was. I hit 100.
Date video.
Yeah,
I'm not going to put the actual date. I'll say a Friday.
Yeah,
it could be last Friday. It could be the Friday before that. Who knows?
I want to say goodbye to all those 102 subscribers. Fun having you.
Have to watch Mugcast. They can just see the lens and just like the screams of help that are on the thumbnail and just be like, nope. Maybe not. Maybe we'll skip this one.
Oh, this looks fun. Oh, anime. Click off.
But that's still a view. It's still a view though, Hayden.
I feel like I kind of really need
how do you think Kingsman and Konga got so high up on the rankings? One little click? Nope.
No, because of my
I really feel like I needed Alex for this one to stop me from rambling. And
unfortunately,
someone was pounding their walls.
He heard the chain be broken and was like, I'm free!
Yeah. That's what the pounding was. They were breaking him out.
Breaking his door down. Hold on, Alex! We'll get you out of there!
Oh, no.
I will also have noticed something. Alex's plushies. There's an imposter among them. If you can see what the imposter is in the audience, put it in the comments below. See, that's how you get people to interact.
That's right. It's Alex's butt plug.
It slowly comes to the screen there.
I've had some cyanide. Goodbye.
I feel like that's a good place to end it, James.
Yep.
Give us a goodbye then.
I'm sorry.
Sorry.
This cyanide tastes weird.
So Hubba Bubba, what'd you expect? Oh, James is dead.